Revenge films.
I live with my husband Don and our 3-year-old daughter Emma. I stopped having a relationship with my in-laws after an incident. Emma is allergic to eggs, but my mother-in-law Cheryl didn't listen or didn't care, no matter how many times I explained Emma's condition to her. She would sneak and attempt to give Emma some snacks or sweets that contain eggs. Fortunately, I noticed and stopped her from eating them at that time, but she didn't understand the seriousness of the matter and said, "Nobody would die from eating eggs." She had zero remorse for her actions, and I was afraid that she might kill Emma one day. I told Don that I didn't want her near Emma, ever, but he said I was overreacting. He had a short memory, so I had to remind him of the incident that happened before. That was when we didn't realize there was an egg in a certain food. Emma ate it and couldn't breathe. We brought her to an emergency room, and they saved her life. That's why I knew it could be a life-or-death situation if she ingested an egg product. Despite this, Cheryl tried to feed Emma egg products many times and put her life at risk each time. I asked Don how he could say that I'm overreacting. After that, he reluctantly agreed with me. When Cheryl heard my decision, she got furious, of course. "Give my granddaughter back! Emma's my son's daughter, which means she's ours!" No matter how badly she yelled at me, I never took Emma to their house. In a few months, Cheryl quieted down and stopped begging us to bring her granddaughter. That was a relief for me. On one Sunday, I went to work because I switched shifts with my coworker during the week. Don was at home taking care of Emma that day, and I got a call from him on my way home. He said Emma was having a problem. She was having a cold a few days earlier, so I thought that was the cause at first, but I heard something unbelievable to me. He was visiting the in-laws with Emma, and Cheryl gave Emma a small amount of cookies. Emma broke out in a rash all over her body and was having a hard time breathing. Shocked, I yelled at him to call an ambulance and rushed over to the in-laws' house. When I got there, Emma was still breathing heavily. Dawn was in a panic and unable to do anything. I was angry and yelled at Cheryl. "I told you not to feed her egg products over and over again. Why did you do this to her? Are you trying to kill her?" I was about to grab her shoulders when Dawn slapped me in the face out of nowhere.
"She didn't know this was going to happen. Don't blame her. An ambulance is on its way. Shut up and calm down."
Is this man out of his mind? I told her 1,000 times not to feed her any egg products. Besides, he completely ignored my stance that I wouldn't have any relationship with her. His careless, unthinkable actions boiled my blood, but the ambulance arrived and I didn't have any more time to waste talking with them. I got into the ambulance with her and we rushed to the hospital. Fortunately, the EMT staff helped her during the ride, and Emma seemed to breathe a little easier. But I was restless and still extremely angry with Dawn and Cheryl. The doctor said Emma would stay the night at the hospital, so I was about to go home to bring a few things when the two came into the room. When Cheryl saw Emma lying quietly in bed, "You scared me to death. She seems normal now. You overreacted. You're too sensitive about her allergies. Instead of running away from the problem, her body needs to adapt to it slowly. I just helped because you don't do anything." At that moment, I wanted to kill her. She saw Emma was in agony, barely able to breathe just minutes ago. Adapt to a crisis? She is undoubtedly insane. Dawn was the same.
Mom's right. There was no need to call an ambulance. Neighbors were watching it too.
Seeing their reactions, I felt something inside me had broken. I just left there instead of wasting any more time with them. I started panicking, called a locksmith, and had the locks replaced. And I went back to the hospital. The two were gone already, but I got a call from Dawn a little while later.
"I can't get into the house. The key doesn't work. What's going on?"
So I made it clear to him, saying I'm going to divorce and he doesn't need to come inside. He didn't seem to understand and yelled back at me, asking why. So I said, how could I go on to live with the man who risked our daughter's life? And told him that I'd send all his stuff to his parents' house in cash on delivery, and that I'm filing for divorce with the help of an attorney. He yelled back at me, but the apartment we lived in belonged to me. I bought it when I was single and he had no say in this.
"I'm the father. You don't have the right to decide all you want."
You knew her condition. You broke the promise and took her to your mother's. You two put her life in danger. You are disqualified as a father. I also told him of my intention to sue her for damages. Knowing the risk, giving a grandchild the food that causes an allergic reaction or possibly death is the same as attempted murder. Who's crazy here? When Emma recovered fully, I officially filed for divorce. Dawn said that I couldn't raise a child alone, and I'd come back to him crying in no time. But I have a skill set and trade license. I can support myself and raise my daughter as long as we live modestly. And I had a place to live. I was finally confident. Meanwhile, Cheryl's neighbors who saw the ambulance the other day asked her what had happened. My granddaughter was feeling a little unwell, and my daughter-in-law panicked and called the ambulance. That was her excuse. But later I corrected the story, and now that they knew the truth, they spread the word that Cheryl almost killed her granddaughter. Don was furious about the rumor, but that spread throughout his workplace, and he is now a man who protected his mother who tried to kill his daughter and hit his wife for it. His superior told him,
"We don't need an employee like that."
He was fired. Don blamed it all on me, saying that I exaggerated the story and overreacted to things. But I blame everything on him, of course. They didn't believe me and didn't take the fact seriously that her allergic condition could be fatal. If they kept this simple promise, no egg products to Emma, this would never have happened in the first place. If Don didn't take her to his mother's that day, Emma didn't have to go through another life-threatening episode. I had no sympathy for them. I wasn't going to give them an inch. After my parents learned all this, they suggested we move in with them just in case Dawn or Cheryl comes back to the house and snatches Emma. I thanked them for the offer and moved back to them. I sold the apartment. A few weeks later, Dawn, who was still mad at me, barged into my previous apartment. Just like my parents suspected, Dawn was going to take Emma back from me and tried breaking and entering through the first-floor balcony in the middle of the night. But we were already moved out by then, and it was the new resident who called the police for burglary. Her husband caught Dawn, and he was arrested on the scene. Even after that, Dawn insisted that it was his home, but it never was. It didn't take long before the whole neighborhood knew about Dawn's abnormal action, and he had an even harder time finding a job. Dawn and Cheryl seem to be hiding out in their house for now. Emma and I are safe with my parents. They never understood that what they did nearly killed Emma, and they had no remorse. They have a lifetime to reflect on this.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.